If you're looking from an investor point of view and you want to optimize your returns, I'll tell you where this whole machine learning, artificial intelligence things help you. And a lot of things which humans were doing, increasingly over time, they get transferred to the machine. But I'll also tell you where the humans come in, because you cannot have a machine as a black box. I am, somebody who enjoyed the art part of the investing. I did it since 1993 when neither the investors nor the companies had heard of equity research. And as I was telling someone, I used to do these road trips and in a single day go from Mothers and Sumi in Greater Noida to Bharti in Delhi on to Carrier in Gurgaon and Hero Honda in Dharuhera. And I enjoyed all of that. But, the investing game is not for what is fun or romance or or satisfaction for me personally. If you're looking from an investor point of view and you want to optimize your returns, I'll tell you where this whole machine learning, artificial intelligence things help you. Number one, you can analyze a lot more securities. You are not constrained by the human constraints. So for example, globally now we look at 25,000 securities. There's no way any human team can look at that. Number two, you can look at many more factors for each company. So right from financial ratios, you can look at first, second, third derivatives of growth. And we found some of them give very good signals, which, physically when you're doing it as an analyst, and I have done enough spreadsheets to know, you focus on 5, 6, 7 financial ratios, and that's about as far as you can go. Third, as Shankar was mentioning, consistency. Even if you had 1,000 analysts analyzing these 25,000 companies, there is no way what they will be looking at will be consistent. A machine is very consistent. Number four, a machine is free of human biases. They're like whole tomes on how many cognitive biases we have as human beings. Number five, a machine learns. So when you do something works, something doesn't work. Even if as a human being, you can see that it becomes very difficult to acknowledge your mistakes and then to trace that why did it happen and how can I change my method so that it does not happen again. So a machine can do that. Machine looks very objectively at what went right, what didn't go right, what worked, what didn't work, how it has to be adapted. It's a learning mechanism. And a lot of also what we used to think as that only a human being can do, we found a lot of it can be coded into the machine. For example, I'll give you the manipulation, 20 years ago, Enron and WorldCom manipulated their accounts, and we incidentally got both of them, where they were doing the manipulation. Like in the case of WorldCom, it was a mismatch between their cash flows and their capex. But now we find that all of that, all the signals that we were looking at, all of that can be coded into the machine. So if the machine signals that, yes, in 1% beverages, there is some problem. The problem might surface a year after that, but there is likely to be a problem because there is a red flag there. If you're looking at companies, earlier the other thing used to be that the data was asymmetric, that you got some information when you met the company. Now regulatorily all over the world, all information, all data is available to everyone. So in that case, then what you're relying on is, for example, conference call transcripts. Now, natural language processing is moved to a point where you can actually analyze that and say that, is the management sounding less confident or more confident compared to last quarter or last year or 2 years ago? Is the level of, one of the interesting things which we look at is what management saying becoming more vague? There is a term called complexity. So complexity increasing means it's becoming more vague. So they are no longer as certain of what they are saying, or they are trying to, run circles around you or something like that. Again, one red flag. So a lot of things machine does which humans cannot do. And a lot of things which humans were doing, increasingly over time, they get transferred to the machine. But I'll also tell you where the humans come in. Because you cannot have a machine as a black box, which is what happens if only let's say a tech-only person tries to get to this kind of a system of investing, let us say. But then what happens is that you have no idea what is logical, what actually should work, which we have 30 years of experience of doing this. And as you know, in the world, there can be a whole lot of spurious correlation. You can have a correlation between consumption of cheese and number of doctorates, and it will look very good. The line looks very good. Number of people drowned and nuclear energy, the correlation is nearly 1. But none of, all those are all nonsense correlations with no causality. So you have to have a human being, first of all, involved in coding of the machine, that what you're doing is logical. And then there is also a human overlay that is needed on top of that, because not everything gets captured. Because, a COVID crisis, the machine can't see coming, or a geopolitical tension, the machine can't see. So those are the other things which come in. So it's a little complex, but yes, the playing field is very much moving away from this very touchy-feely art kind of industry.